It says I'm live. Okay, girls. I know I announced this at the last minute, so I understand if no one shows up, but I'm going to post it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today, I set out to talk about adult friendships. I've had so many people ask me about that, and I do think it's something that's important for women, especially over 50. I think it's a different situation. I notice the older I get, I wouldn't say harder it gets, but the more there is to it. So, okay, I see there's one person out there. I'd love if any of you can just let me know if you can hear me. I did set it to you have to have been a subscriber for 7 days to be able to comment on this, because it keeps people from interrupting our party here. It helps anyway. I know that a lot of that is inevitable. So I'm going to open up my Diet Coke here. And so the funny thing is, I made some notes weeks ago. I think it was, oh goodness, you guys. Yeah, it's right here. Why women friendships are complicated. And I mean, look at my page. I just kept on and kept on adding more things. And I thought to myself, there's just too much. There's too much to talk about in one video. And yay, Teresa, Rita, Christy, Shayla, Addie. Oh, thank you guys so much for being here. Yes, it's such a good topic, because I kind of go in and out of even feeling like, do I even need friends? I don't know if you're like that too. I have been so disappointed in people that it will cause you to just wonder, do I even want to go through that again? Or all of these feelings. So anyway, I'm not going to be able to talk about everything here. And it became obvious to me as I was preparing for today's video. I didn't think I was going to do a live, but it became obvious to me that I don't have all the answers. I'm just like you guys, just navigating through life. But I am someone who loves to share. And you know me, you know the person that I am. And so I felt like, well, maybe I have something that I could help you with, or maybe there's some things you could help me with. And that's why I want it to be a discussion. And that's why I felt like it needed to be alive. So I'm going to do my best to talk and, answer some questions or read your comments and everything, which is kind of hard to do, because when you're doing YouTube and you're kind of in the zone. So if I ever get that way and I feel like I'm not paying attention to you, that's what it is. Okay, it started out with me wanting to talk to you. I was going to create a video with 10 points, 10 ways, or I didn't even know exactly what it was going to be. I think this is how it started. I didn't know if I wanted to do 10 ways we need adult friendships, 10 reasons. I even thought about 10 reasons I don't have any adult friendships, or, something like that. And I just couldn't pinpoint what I wanted to say. So I put in, this is hilarious. I put in mature women, and it's so funny how the first thing that comes up is mature women in bikinis. So mature women out there, we still got it. We're still being searched for. Or is it mature women sheer or see-through? Just stuff like that. So funny. And I even wrote at the top of this page, this is really turning into a therapy session. And I wrote LOL same, because what I ended up doing was clicking on one of Mel Robbins' videos. I think this video is like a year old or so. And the video is 5 lies you tell yourself about adult friendships. This is what makes it hard. Reveal the truth. And in the, I would say about the first third of the video, she said, this is becoming a therapy session. I was like, oh my gosh, it's becoming a therapy session for me. And I will say, I haven't slept good for the past 2 nights. I don't know why, but I'm feeling kind of emotional today. So I'm going to try to follow my rules and not spill my guts too much. But I am going to be very open and honest and vulnerable with you guys here today because that's what I have to offer. I have a heart that wants to help. I have a heart that wants to connect with you on a deeper level than fashion and makeup, even though that is important and we do connect with those things. But I think you know what I'm saying. Okay, so let me read over here. Coke Zero, though, here. Yeah, I get it. You're either one or the other. That is for sure. Yay. Let's see. Same, same. I only work at being social and having friends to be a good example for my daughter. That's a point I haven't really thought of. But there are very few I truly connect with. I'm so grateful for your community you've created. Boy, am I grateful for y'all. I mean, beyond. Having to distance yourself or cut ties with friends who bring you down and drag you away from your best self. I've done with some, but can't with my bestie because I keep praying she'll change. Yeah. Oh, hey, Sylvia. Glad you're here. Okay. I can relate to all of those. And I have to say, I don't hold any hard feelings towards anyone because one of the points she had in here is that person that you're thinking of, it could be me. I'm going to be that person for someone else that they quit connecting with, I quit giving someone else energy. I quit being relatable to someone else, and that's fine. And I have to be fine with that. And that's something that YouTube has really taught me because I've connected with so many women over the years, is that I have to be okay with different points of views and the fact that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. She talked about, how you can be the ripest, juiciest peach, but some people don't like peaches. And that has been good for me. So, okay, so let's start with her video. And I started out with my notes. This is what I do when I watch a video. I'll put who it is and I'll put like the title in case I want to refer back to it. And I'll have the page here to take notes. Well, then if it brings up something within me, I kind of use this as a journal and I start writing down either things that I want to tell you guys or things that I need to reflect on myself. And I had filled up this page before I could even get to her 5 points. So I'm thinking about, that's why this is a discussion, because I don't have a good process here, but let's just start. She said, the older I get, and that's okay. That's what her video came from, is the older I get, the more boring I get. I think she said that, or it was something I put on Instagram. Let me look right now because it's going to bug me. And since I'm not going to edit this because it's live, making new friends as an adult is hard because the people I get along with the best also don't want to leave their house. And love that. Can relate so much. And we'll get into that here. Okay. The older I get, the more boring I get. So true. I think I've told you when I moved to this neighborhood, I just thought, ooh, I'm going to go to all the parties at the clubhouse. I'm going to have all the neighbors over and do Christmas parties. What was I thinking? But I had to do it. I had to experience it. I had to be here to understand that that's just not who I am. And I'm okay with that. That's part of us being over 50, is we get to be okay with our weirdness and other people's weirdness. And so another thing that she said is, and that kind of relates to that, is I think, oh yeah, she said, if you want to be in big parties, then throw one. And I was like, that's so profound. I will admit, I'm not sitting around thinking, why am I not getting invited to any parties? But if you are, then throw one. be that person who throws the parties, and then you'll get invited to more parties because you'll be around the people that throw parties. And that is something I have learned. And I remember part of my goal setting for this year was to travel more. And I remember watching a video by Gary Vee, and he does these live things where he's talking to a group of people and his staff will record him. And this guy stood up and he says, well, how do I think he was telling people to record themselves doing things and having discussions like he is. And he says, well, how do I do that if I don't have any places to go? And he said, well, create the situation. You have to create those situations. And I was like, Lisa, that's exactly it. You have to create the situation to travel. You have to create the situations to make more friends. You have to take initiative. And that is where I started my daggone therapy session here. I wrote down, and I even wrote down from me because I didn't know what I was going to be writing. And I wrote down, I am not good at initiating the date. I end up feeling like I may have pressured them into it or put them on the spot. And then she was talking about the liking gap from Yale, a study from Yale, where it's a true thing where we always think that we're not likable. For some reason, we feel like people don't like us. And I have that. I have that situation where I feel like, I don't want to put somebody on the spot. I always tell people I'm going to be the easiest friend you've ever had. Because if you don't want to text me back, don't feel like you have to. Or if I leave you a message, don't feel like you've got to message me back. I always say those things because I have this feeling that people don't like me. And I've told you girls before, I've never felt like I fit in. Ever. I can remember back to my first memories of feeling this way was second grade. And I remember we played Charlie's Angels, and like one girl was, I can't even remember, what was the dark-haired girl's name, Jackie? I can't remember, but I was Chris, and I had a Charlie's Angels lunchbox, and we had some guy who was Bosley and all that stuff. And I remember being surprised that they asked me to play. Even at that level, I was feeling a little bit not even left out. And not even sad that I didn't fit in, but a feeling of I don't fit in. And then that carried through. I never was a cheerleader, yet I hung out with cheerleaders. So then I never fit in. Even as a young adult, even when I bartended and waitressed, I wasn't a drinker. I wasn't a partier. I didn't go to late night after we closed the restaurant. So I never fit in. It was constantly these things where I was in a group. It's not like I was ostracized or geeky or didn't have friends or didn't have things to do. It's just I was always on the fringes and I never really was doing the things that they were doing. And a lot of times it's because I didn't agree with them. I didn't want to be drunk and hook up with people. I didn't have it in me to be a cheerleader. It was just different things like that. So I don't know. I don't want to whine and complain because I don't like that. I don't like watching people do that. But I can't help feel like being here on YouTube has kind of brought that about just slightly because it's not normal to get insulted and for someone to be mean to you every day. And we have instincts within us that protect us. And they say you can be in a room full of people that love you, 100 people, but if you know that 20 people there are only there because they hate you, they're only there because they're waiting to twist your words, it is a normal survival feeling and instinct in you to try to protect yourself from those people out to hurt you. It is very normal. And I was watching a Lydia Millen video and she was talking about this and she was saying how she had PTSD from just being hated on constantly. And she brought up something that I had never really thought of that happens to me a lot. I'm going to hold that thought and read some of your comments. All of my adult friends, this is from Kathy, all of my adult friends are women, and I have been friends for 40 years. Oh gosh, okay. Let me, oh, can I scroll down? Yeah. Okay. It's hard when you get older to make friends. It is. And it's for these reasons I'm about to go through. The older I get, the more I've discovered I'm a semi-introvert. Me too. Me too. I am an introvert. Even though I love coming here, speaking with you, I love going to events, I love going to a party. I do have this thing where I'm excited to go to the party, and then right before, what did I say I was going to this party? But then once I get there, I have a good time. I am an introvert. I love my alone time. I crave it. I need it. It is a need for me. Okay, Johnny, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but every time I go to the doctor, he asks if I'm married yet. And I've been divorced now for 10 years. It's like points against me because I'm not remarried. Okay, that kind of leads into what I'm about to say. I think sometimes people say things to us and they don't realize that it's a little, they don't mean it to be a little jab. Sometimes they do. Sometimes it's a little one up. I've even noticed, John is just in fabulous shape for his age. He has it going on. He has accomplished so much in his life. What's the first thing that a man will say to him when he sees them? Something about his bald head. It's always something, let me bring you down immediately. You think you look so good? Let me just chop you right down. And I've noticed that with people. It's kind of like when I'm eating chicken and all this healthy stuff next to people that are eating cake and appetizers and fried food, and they immediately, you're drinking Diet Coke. It's a way to just put you right in your place. I don't think that everyone means to do that. I think sometimes it just happens. And so I've become very, very, very aware of what I say because I think I have been guilty of that in the past, of maybe just saying, sometimes you're just struggling for an opener, you know what I mean, for the conversation. But this is something that when I was listening to Lydia's video, it really hit home. She said, even when people say to her, you're the most hated person on the internet, and they'll say it meaning they have compassion for her, or I feel sorry for you, but it's just another hurt. And I have experienced this for so many years here on YouTube. I feel like people don't want to give me shout outs. I feel like people don't like me sometimes. And it hurts. It does. I'm human. I'm a human. I'm very confident and I'm very happy, and I'm not going to change who I am, but I can't help but let it hurt. And like I'll do a collab with someone and then they'll tell me, I had to defend you. They said this, and this. And I'm like, thanks. Thanks for telling me that. It's here again, it hurts. And then I'll be talking to someone and they'll say, I know you're a good girl, Lisa. I know your heart, but I read your comments and I know. And I'm like, thanks. It's just a constant reminder of hurt and of criticism. And I think that that's gotten in my head, and I'm only human. I'm not a robot. It's and then I'll have people say, oh, haters gonna hate. Feel sorry for them, Lisa. They're hurt. Hurt people. Well, I agree with all of that. I know that it's coming from insecurity, and it's really sad that someone would do these things, but it's easy for you to say. You know what I mean? It's easy for you to say, don't let it bother you. It's easy for people to say, you know, laugh about them all the way to the bank. or, all those things that you say, like even at the YouTube conference with that Think Media, he was saying, yeah, I see you on my channel, but I don't see you at the bank. All of that, ha ha ha, that's all well and fine, but I'm not that person. I'm the person that gets hurt. And it's just, I don't know, it's not a good feeling. So, okay, then the next thing that came up, okay, let me take a break. It's because I'm happy. Thank you. It is. I do think that my energy is off putting to some people. They think I've had it made and all of this stuff. And in a lot of ways, I have. And I'm grateful for it. And I don't try to project anything differently. I tell you guys the stone cold truth. I really do. Um, and so, yeah, I do think that. And that does make me, and I've told you, I've like studied mean people. I've studied why women are mean. Why are older women the meanest? Why would someone be mean to your children? Like things that just are beyond my comprehension. And I will say that understanding it, knowledge is power, and understanding it is helpful. It really is. I think that I trigger a lot of women that are in their masculine energy because I am not even so feminine, but things that I say like, John opens my boxes, or John moved this for me, or John, hell, I called John and he redid my debit card for me. I can tell by the comments I get back that that's triggering for people. So I get that and I understand it now. And so when I say it and I get the answer back, I know why. I do. So, okay. Nicole says, I am the happiest I have ever been, and the haters tried to beat me down, and they got the boot. It's the truth. It's the truth. Don't keep people around you. And I'll get into that. So let me go to the next one I wrote down. Oh, okay. This is when I was just purely writing notes to myself about why I don't have more friendships, especially here, like where I live. And I wrote, I don't like appointments or commitments. I have a tough time not letting it take over the day. Okay, this is something that I don't know what my problem is. And I remember it even being when I used to work, like say I had a shift at 4 o'clock. Well, I felt like the whole daggone day was shot. Do not ask me to go to a bridal shower or anything during the day because I had to work at 4. And it would just consume my day. So what I would end up doing is maybe the best you could get from me is meeting me for lunch. And then I would go straight home, sometimes take a nap. And then I really did like to take a shower, do my hair, and do my makeup for work. That was very important to me, even at that time. Whereas a lot of girls would do something all day long, like go to the beach or whatever, and then they'd show up to work with no makeup on and their hair wet. And I just never was that girl. And so even till today, if like the other day we went out to dinner with friends, and what day was it? It was Thursday. And I did a video that morning. I think I did it for Patreon. And then we wanted to go to the pool. Okay, here's another thing. I'm trying to always fit in being with John, doing things I like that feed my soul, like going to the pool, getting my vitamin D. I know for a fact that makes me feel better. And then I'll fit in. And then we were going out to dinner at 5:30. And so I was thinking, okay, I need to look good and my hair needs to be fixed for my video, but yet I'm going to the pool. That's going to mess up everything. And then I want to go out to dinner. So I made it work and I had the best day. Matter of fact, we got home. I took a shower. John finished working on the sink that our sink cracked and he had to replace it because we could not get anyone over here to fix it. We called so many people from so many Angie's List and all the things, never could get anyone over here to fix it. So he had to just find out how to do it and do it himself. So he finished the sink that night. I took a shower. And when I got in bed, I was like, wow, I made a video. I went to the pool. I went out to dinner. It was like all these good accomplishments. So I am trying with that for sure. But so that's something I need to work on, is not letting a dinner date feel like it's gonna sabotage the rest of my day. Um, let's see. Donna, I just let go of a toxic friendship and my heart was broken. Oh, I've been there. I have been there. Because when you have had a deep friendship with someone, they are a part of your daily life and thoughts. And when they're gone, it's much like a breakup from a boyfriend. It really is. When you truly had your heart in it. Um, but yet the less drama is opening my heart to kinder people. Lock that door and God lets the good through that window. So true. That's one of the points she made, that if you will not let go of these people with ill will or feeling like something's wrong with you or them. And that's what Mel teaches, is to be flexible with friendships. Then you can truly attract people that are, with you now, with your same maybe stage of life we're in, or stage of life of your career, or have things in common with the person you are now, because we are not the same woman we were in high school and or in our 20s, 30s, or even 40s. I'm not even the same person I was last year. And I love that about me. I love that I grow and I'm constantly growing. So that's something, yeah, you're exactly right. You have to let go of them, and then I have to work on being open for the new people. I really do. That's something I know. Okay, this is another problem I have. I only have X amount of free time, and I need to spend that with my husband and my family, my immediate family, my children, Will and Brooke, and my parents. And I have to have time to prepare for my next video and my next, like, I have to have time to I mean, you guys would not believe how long it takes to steam things and try things on for videos. It's like I run out of time, and I know that is a normal process, but there are so many dreams I have and so many things I want to do, and every day I never have enough time. So it makes me feel like the little pockets of time that I do have, well, I need to spend with my parents. I need to spend with John. I need to spend with my children. And so I run out of time. That is why I will say I have some great friendships that are not local. And we are friends on Voxer, which I was not even familiar with Voxer until I started YouTube coaching. And that is how that's you got part of the package with the one-on-one training was you could Vox her questions. And that is something I am toying with starting with my coaching, is Voxer. And let me see right now. I meant to look this up. Hold on. I'm going to see right now if I can tell you, because people have asked me who I got my life coach certification with. And I've had people say that it's illegal for me to be doing that or whatever. It's not. In North Carolina, you don't have to have a life coach license. I just did it for my own self, for my own education, for my own, to help you. You know what I mean? It was the life coach. It was the Certified Life Coach Institute. That is who it was. And they had high ratings, and I found them through another girl that I like and respect, and I like her, the way she goes about it. So I don't know where I got off on that. So yeah. Okay, so that. And then number 4 was I want to spend free time learning, taking courses, etc. Okay, when I get in the car for lunch and I make myself leave here, I could cook myself my own burgers. I could cook myself my own eggs. I could eat rolled up roast beef and cheese if I wanted to. But I make myself go out because I do like getting away from work and being alone. Usually that's when I catch up with my Voxer messages with friends. Then I don't listen to music. I don't listen to the news. I either do an audiobook, or I actually do it on Spotify. We have like a family Spotify package. Or I am in a course that I'll listen to, or I have a video on YouTube. And I do have the premium YouTube, so I don't have commercials. Best thing I've ever done. One of the best things I've ever done. Love it. Sometimes if I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I know I don't want to get up, but I know I'm so awake and my mind is just going to wander and wander and start worrying about my children, worrying about my parents. You know how what your mind will do at night, and it's so dramatic. I will turn on a video that teaches me something new. And I don't, sometimes I'll go to sleep with it on if they have a very soothing voice, but sometimes I'll just, cut it off real quick and go to sleep. So that is another reason you see me not having a lot of friends. I did do a lot of girl nights with friends when my children were small because I needed to get out of here. And John would call me the whole time. Trust me. I mean, I had it was a typical stay at home mom situation. It was like I almost couldn't enjoy myself because of worrying about, the situation at home. Um, but that was then. You know what I mean? That's what I was more into right then. Called personal growth, exactly. Um, let's see. I have a lot of friends that I'm interacting with on social media. Yes, honestly, when I tell you girls you're my friends, I mean it. I mean it. And I don't know how to tell you. I mean it. I do. I even say to like some of my friends in real life, they'll say, if you did this, this, and this, you could grow or you would get more subscribers or this or that. And I'm like, yeah, but I have a hard time not talking to you that have been here. Because even my YouTube coach told me if someone stumbles upon your video, they're not going to know what the heck's going on because my videos are like one 15-year long vlog almost. And so you'll notice I'll say my daughter, Brooke, who's 24, because I do want to bring in new people and I do want to meet new people and I want our table to grow. But I can't help that I'm talking to those of you that have been here with me and you're my friends and I mean it. I do mean it. Okay. I'm content with being with my husband, my children, and my grandchildren. Not good night. I can't even imagine. If I had friends and got invited somewhere, would I go? Probably not. I know. It's tough. That's why Voxer's good too, because half the time I don't even have time for a phone call. And my friend Mary and I used to say, I have time to call, but not time to talk. That's the perfect Voxer friend because you can leave. It's like a walkie talkie. You can leave a message and they can be listening to you while you leave the message and message you right back if you want to have a good back and forth. But you can also, like sometimes I'll Vox someone in the morning when I'm upstairs in my office and then I'll get busy and I won't listen to theirs back to me until I go to lunch or something. So that really comes in handy if you want to have that with some friends. Okay. Number 5, I wrote down for myself. I learned that I'm very extroverted with work, etc., going to conferences by myself, all of that stuff. I love all that, but really introverted and value my alone time. So I think I've pretty much spoke on that. And I mean alone time. Alone, like in the car. I think that's why I love being in the car is because I will get my Diet Coke from McDonald's and I will pull over sometimes and just catch up with my Instagram, maybe catch up and text my mom and dad, see how they're doing, do some things because when I'm here, there's a lot going on. I need to fold the clothes, all the things. So I do value my alone time. It's amazing what you keep on learning about yourself as you get older. You would think I would know who I am at almost 54 years old. Okay, people don't like me. I don't fit in. Never felt like I fit. Okay, I'm glad I wrote this down because I forgot it. I wrote my look in groups. Okay, I do have this feeling too that people judge me when they look at me. Wing liner, false lashes at the grocery store, all the things that people say to me. You're just so unrelatable. You remind me of housewives of New Jersey or Vegas or whatever. Little comments that people say to me. And I feel like, so when I meet someone and they say something, or I don't know, I just can't help but feeling like people don't like me. They don't like my look, or they don't like who I am. Or they'll even say to me, when I stumbled upon your video, I thought you were too over the top and ridiculous. But now that I've gotten to know you, you're not, or something, and it's like, I know that they mean well, but it still hurts. Yet, I'm confident enough to not change. And then I think that puts people off, that they can't insult me into changing who I am. And then that causes a little bit of like inner turmoil. Should I change? Would I be more likable? Would I be more popular on YouTube? Would I be more relatable? It's like, it's exhausting. You know what I mean? It's like, but I always come back to, like, if you've been with me through the years, you've seen me try to be more relatable. You've seen me try to wear red lipstick, try to wear no lashes. And I always come back to how I feel the best. I was actually listening to a person. This is how my brain works. Before I was watching Mel, I was watching, let me see if I can find her name here. Okay. Arlen Hamilton. She does a lot of videos on becoming wealthy. She was homeless and she has a fantastic story. I listened to some of her book yesterday while I was at the pool. And one of her quotes was, "Be yourself so the people looking for you can find you." And that hit home with me because I know I meet you girls. I meet you when I'm out of town and you're the manager of the Chanel store. I meet you in the Dior department. I meet you at the shopping center in Texas at the sandwich shop. I'm thinking of these people that I've met. And when I see you, I think, yes, people are out there that get me, that aren't putting me down. I don't know. And I know that that's a weird thing and I shouldn't think that. And I'm so lucky and all this stuff. But like I said, it's just not normal to be insulted so many times. It is just like it will give you what is a good word? I hate to even use a dramatic word like wounds or something, but imagine if you went out every day and someone said something mean to you at the grocery store or whatever. Imagine how that would feel. So that is another hang up I have, is I feel like when I meet someone, I instantly think, they're judging me or something. Okay, so now I finally got over to the other page and I did write down the things that Mel Robbins, the 5 things that she said, her points for adult friendships. Let me read some of your input. I love watching your videos, makes me relax. Thank you so much. That is one of my favorite compliments that you guys ever give me, is that your children like watching me, or your children like the sound of my voice. Like people will send me pictures of watching me with their baby, or even your pets like the sound of my voice. Even your husband likes the sound of my voice. And I think that we communicate on more levels than the words we say. And I think that husbands, animals, and babies detect probably in my voice that I like them. When I go anywhere, children are drawn to me. And it's because I love children. I love their voices are like music to me. And I love men. I'm not a man hater. I don't feel less than because I'm a woman. I don't feel like the patriarchy and I don't know. I just don't feel that way. I love love. I love relationships. I love marriage. I love how a woman loves a man and a man loves a woman. And I think people get that. So I think that that is a great compliment to when you say that to me. So thank you. Thank you. Um, oh gosh. We've never went a couples counseling or anything, but we joke. Let's see what Lisa says. Oh, that is wow. That is wow. That could make me cry. Thank you. Thank you, Addie. I have big plans for my future. I really do. Keep that in mind. Okay. Let's finish my 10 points and then what time? Okay. And then we'll go to Mel's points. We'll end up on her note because she is so wise. When I was walking every night, her videos were a lot of the ones I would listen to when I was walking. I think that we can all relate to her because she's around our age. She's cool. She really is cool. She's got a vibe. In that video, she had on her faux leather with her black glasses. And I was like, ooh, I love her look. She's got children. She talks about her husband. I've listened to her talk about her career change and her getting on stage wearing high heels and realizing she didn't have to do that. I mean, just so many things. I relate to her on a deep level, and I appreciate our differences to the max. Okay, so number 7, I wrote down, when you let go of friends, you feel like, okay, let me read this real quick. When you let go of friends, you feel like no longer support you or energize you. You start thinking, am I too, okay, this is something I just went through. Okay, when you let go of friends, you feel like no longer support you and your dreams and the things that you are passionate about, the things that light you up. When you talk to friends and you can tell either they have no interest, they don't think it's worthy, they think you're ridiculous, they don't even comment back, they don't support you, you will start thinking, am I too judgmental? Am I the problem? And this is a big one that I have been dealing with. I will think, okay, am I too sensitive? And then I'll think, did God put me in their life to help them? And should I suck it up to be that person for them? Because sometimes I'll find myself with someone who I can tell by the comments they give me that hurt me, and backhanded compliments, different little digs. And so I say to myself, they are sucking my energy. I'm going to remove myself from this situation. That's when I think, have I been too sensitive? All this stuff. Is it me? And then I'll think, well, because most of the time, anybody that's going to do that has been hurt in the past. And that is where it is coming from. A normal, good, healthy person, doesn't do that on a regular basis to you. Everybody slips up, and none of us are perfect. But then I start thinking, okay, did God place me in their life to help them through some of these things and to help them learn with me and grow with me? What do you guys think about that? I think I've come to the conclusion that some people are addicted to suffering. They are not doing the things that want to make them better. They think they're fine just as they are. And then I have to think, who am I to judge? Who am I to think they should be anything different? So maybe I need to let them go with love and light. Let them go. And if they find that they need help, leave it up to them, because I think we're all very capable. I really do. All the information's out there. All of it. If you want to get help for anything, if you wanted to become a millionaire, all the information's out there. So I don't know. I've been battling with that one. Danette, my girl. My husband plays in bands, and I'm constantly worried about how I present myself. He's very well known in our area. Thanks, Lisa, for giving me so many fabulous style ideas. I think that's giving my so many fabulous, giving me. Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying, Danette. You're worried about, oh yeah, that's kind of like me going to the company parties. Totally relate. What am I going to wear? You know what I would do? And this is what I would tell you to do. I would ask John, what do you think I should wear to your meeting tonight? And that, because who's most important? They are to me, and I think to you too. So I would ask Rich, what should I wear? Do you like, or do you like what I'm wearing? They'll tell you. Even if they know better not to say, something derogatory, they may say, "Ooh, I like that red dress," or something. By this point, I know what John likes, but I still sometimes will say, "What should I wear?" or "What do you want me to wear?" Because I care and I want him to know that what he thinks is most important. So that's how I feel about that one. Okay, let me read another one. Donna. I love that friends come into my life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. We're getting to that. I have two ride or die friends. They don't drain my energy and they are very supportive. That's all you need, girl. I'm telling you, if you can find one or two good friends, and she calls them 4 a.m. friends, that you could call at 4 a.m. And this was something she said that I was like, and she said, and not just for an emergency, because that's the first thing I thought of. Oh, I could call so and so at 4 a.m. for an emergency. And she said, well, most people you could call at 4 a.m. for an emergency, but who could you call at 4 a.m. just because you needed someone to talk to? You know who I thought of? My mom and my daughter. And that's fine. That's fine because they're my heart and they know me better than anyone, but I don't know if I have a friend I could call at 4. I think I might have one. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. So, something to think about. I never thought about it till today. Okay. Yeah, I've thought, okay, city gone country girl, love that. I've thought sometimes people feel wanted when they keep bringing up past hurts. It's so hard being the compassionate one. Lots of addiction issues in the world that can cause toxicity. That is the truth. And I work on my compassion and my judgment. I really do, because the more you grow and the more you learn, until I really started learning about trauma and why people do things, I never just realized how many people just have dealt with so much before they even get to age 10, and don't think that doesn't shape your life. It does. Okay, let me go on because my cleaning girls are going to be here. She said from 11:30 to 12, so we'll see. Okay. I wrote down, at this point, I don't need someone to help me shop. Okay, this is a funny one. At this point, I don't need someone to help me shop or tell me what I need to do. I have realized on my own, with my own style and my own path in life, I have gotten hurt by asking backhanded compliments and input that further make me feel not liked and less than. And okay, that's kind of like a 2-pointer there, because I used to get a lot of my interaction and girl time through shopping, because I would make pretty good friends with the girls that worked. Matter of fact, one of my friends that we have been trying to get together and go to dinner works at Ulta. We have so much in common. I look forward to seeing her, and we've been trying to get it together. So we're going to do it soon. But so I love to go in there and talk to her. And I used to really get a lot of girl time in that way. It has gotten to the point after COVID that I've told you there is, first of all, this isn't a shopping town. But even when you go to Banana Republic or Gap, no, we don't have that, but we can order it. We don't have that, but we can order it. It's such a letdown. So between that and then kind of getting used to ordering everything online, it's gotten to where I have no desire really to go out and shop. So I'm missing that little aspect of socialization. Even I would get to know, this is funny, I would get to know the grocery store managers because when I did the grocery shopping, I was a every day, every 2 day kind of grocery shopper because I was fixing different things. I was always trying some kind of new recipe. And that was just part of my routine was going to the grocery store. So I'm missing a lot of that socialization. And then um, a friend of mine, she and I, or her and I always get those two confused. We're talking about how we don't need anyone to tell us if something looks good on us or what we should wear because we already are very confident in who we are. And there's another level to that too, that even if you do ask some people what you should wear or um, questions about even like if I've even been hurt asking other people questions about something about it, what YouTube video I should make. Or remember, I told you that my coach told me one time, and was totally right to gain more, to be more relatable and to gain more people. I probably shouldn't wear feathers on the thumbnail. Maybe I shouldn't start the video with something that a lot of people aren't going to wear or something like that. But I can't help but take that as a little bit of you're weird. You're not like everyone else. No one can relate to you. That's why you don't have more subscribers, is because you're unrelatable. You know what I mean? You can't help but get that subliminal message a lot of times. And so I don't know, it can make you feel less than. And you guys, I will have people say things to me, and then I'll hear them bragging about someone else who has just the same. It's just a weird thing. And life isn't fair. Just get that through your head. Life isn't fair. Okay. Number 9, carnivore has taken some of the dinner time joy from eating and going out with friends, going to lunch, because not only is there not as many options, probably, maybe they wouldn't invite me because a lot of people think that, what are you going to get at the Chinese restaurant, or what are you going to get at Mexican? I'll find something. I can get something to eat most anywhere. But what happens is when I order, and I've told you guys this, and we'll try to not kick the dead horse, the whole discussion about what I eat comes up. And no matter what, it does not matter that I am probably one of the healthiest people at the table. It does not matter. They will pick on what I'm drinking. Something will happen to make me feel less than, or someone will make a dig. They're over there eating cake, but they'll make a dig at me. And I remember one time, this was years and years ago, I said something about not drinking at all. I don't drink any alcohol. I don't. I just never have been a drinker. I'm not saying that I haven't ever drank because, like, say the other night when we went to this restaurant, I probably would have had a strawberry margarita, in the old Lisa before I changed what I was eating. But I would have had one. I probably would have never had. I don't think I've ever bought anything to have at home to drink, if that tells you anything. So one time I said something about not drinking alcohol, and what is the first thing they're going to throw back in my face? But you drink Diet Coke. So, it's just like when people are just constantly doing that, sometimes you will not want to dine with them. Okay. Mel said this. When you realize a relationship is getting forced, it's taking too much energy, you also have been that person for someone else. They have grown or changed, and you no longer fit in their life. You are allowed You and they are allowed to grow. And I mentioned that earlier. And that was good for me to hear. Which I do know that, but I need to remind myself of these things. Hey, I am not, I may have started off a banana and now I'm a peach and they don't like peaches. You know what I mean? So that's cool. Number 10, COVID changed so much, all that stuff. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. So let's go over. Okay. Now let me read some things you've written. Oh, I love seeing these good things because you know what? Even if I haven't read your comment, I love that you've been here because that says something. And I hope that we've all made each other think because Mel made me, it was like a therapy session. I've never even thought about some of those things. And it made me emotional. And when I went to put my makeup on, I thought, God, I hope I don't cry in this video. Frenemies. Oh, yeah. I know. I have a hard time. It's like there's blatant frenemies, but sometimes somebody's just on the edge of being a frenemy and you can't decide. What do you do in that situation? That's what I have a hard time with. I don't want to Diet Coke and alcohol are not the same. People are strange. I know. And I do get their point. I know drinking water would be healthier. I know that. But I know I'm not perfect. And I'm not, okay, well, I'm going to drop it. When I heard when people say things about us, they really want to do it themselves, but don't have the willpower. Yes, that's true. You know, something else that's happened to me in the last couple years? I will have someone out of the blue start DMing me on Instagram. And you guys, I try to keep up. I do. I answer all of my DMs. And it takes a while. And I love it because I get to connect on a deeper level with you girls. But sometimes someone will come on strong. I have watched you ever since you sold Rachel K. I have watched you since you were in your pink kitchen. And I'll think, wow, this is somebody I can really connect with. And they will, as soon as I get in the conversation, they will say something so mean to me. So mean. It's like, it is almost like I cannot even believe you typed that out. It's like not something that could be left out in translation or facial expression. Like they have been waiting these years to just blast me. That has happened to me at 2 real good times and then a couple of less minor. So if you message me on Instagram and I am kind of standoffish, it has just burnt me a couple of times, big time. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm carnivore and live in Wilmington. Lunch, please. That's so sweet, Goldie. I ran into a girl at Ulta one day, and she said, I saw you in the parking lot. And she came in there and she said that her and her husband watch me, that they're doing carnivore. They're the ones that told me about that different steak, not flank steak, but chuck eye or chuck steak, and that it's much less expensive, but it tastes similar to a ribeye. I don't care for it as much as a ribeye or a filet, but John does. So sometimes he'll cook a chuck steak. So that was funny. Okay. Mel Robbins, 5 things. Everyone else's life isn't a big party. I love that because, and like I've said, with the whole seeing people on Instagram go on, they're on a yacht, they're on a cruise, they're doing this. I'm not even saying that it's not real. I think a lot of it is real. But it doesn't mean everybody's doing that. And it certainly doesn't mean I want to do it. So, okay, I don't fit in. People don't like me. We've gone through that. And that was when she told about that study from Yale about the don't like me feeling, that's very normal. And that made me feel so good. That made me feel better. So I was glad to bring that to you. BFF is a lie. It was so funny. She's like, you're my BFF 4L for life, all that thing we used to write on our notes and stuff. Oh, the good old note days. Flexible friendships. That is so true. That helped me too a lot, is flexible friendships. And I try to be a flexible friend to people. I really do. I try to not be demanding. Um, in a way, I think that maybe that could be self preservation, because I'll say, you don't have to call me back. You don't have to, don't. I'm not a birthday person. Don't remember my birthday. I do think sometimes that I'm doing that so that I won't get let down with people. But I do think you have to be flexible. She says you don't need to be everyone's friend. Um, and I think that's when she went into friends for a reason, friends for a season, friends for a lifetime. I remember listening to one of her podcasts at lunch one day, and she said this, and I was like, oh, that is so true. There are different kinds of friends. Friends for a reason, like if you're going through something together, almost like when you were had young children and you would have like the dance mom friend or something like that, or a work person that you become friends with. I have gotten burnt with not being able to keep a work relationship, and trying to be their friend. That has burnt me a few times. So be careful for that. And she said this helps you become flexible. And then friends for a season, that goes right along with the mom friend groups and things like that. I remember even feeling like an outsider at mom's groups because I didn't live in the right neighborhood, or I didn't wear the really preppy clothes that they wore, or I wore more makeup or something like that. So I can even remember it back then. Or my kids weren't dressed head to toe in whatever the latest and greatest Happy Jack, whatever, like, there's all those boutiques in town that are so expensive. My kids wore a lot of Gap and Old Navy because that's what I liked. Brooke wore the little pink high top Nikes from the time she was a baby all the way up, because I thought they were so cute with a little pair of lace socks and a little Gap pink outfit. Or Target. I would get a lot of her clothes at Target. I was really into soft. I wanted my children to be comfortable and soft. So I didn't, we'll leave it there. Okay. And then what else did she say? Okay. Number 5, I don't have time. She got me on this one. I would be friends or I would do this, but I don't have time. That is so true. I will say that I don't have time, but I don't have a lot of time. I do want to do a lot of things, and I do try to save all of my time for my family and things like that. But I do try to keep up with like my Voxer and keep up with friends as much as I can through that. But so that's all I have to say. Let me read some of your things here. Yeah, some people use social media to express their frustrations, unfortunately. You know what? This is a funny thing. Most of my meanest comments come through at night. And so it has gotten to the point where I have to brace myself to even look at my email and my comments. I mean, one morning I woke up to my whole page filled with an insult on my lip liner. And I'm supposed to have hair that is befitting of the Kerastase ad at all times, all times. I mean, I have been insulted so much about my hair that which last night I let it just dry natural. So that's what you see. And yeah, it's something. Let's see. Mind over matter. So true. You can only have a few true friends. True. And I have to adjust my expectations a lot. Oh, good morning, Betty. I do believe that we all have time. We need to do what we want and not feel guilty about it. That is something. That is something that you have to, don't feel obligated, because I was feeling obligated to do a lot of things. I felt like maybe God wanted me to spend time with this person, and so I have been through that too. Thank you, Jillian. Okay. Let's see. Love your hair, Lisa. Thank you, Lee. Let's see. And guys, please, I'm not saying this for a bunch of sympathy. I'm really not. I'm just kind of, we're being friends here. And I'm telling you where I'm coming from with these feelings. And I think on some level, you can probably relate for sure. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Heaven Morrison, so happy to catch you live. I've been a subscriber for 10 years. What a compliment that is. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to, another thing I want to say too, because I don't think people get this, and I might not have gotten it either if I hadn't been in this position. But if you see something written about somebody somewhere that's bad, or you hear something or anything else, don't tell them. Don't tell them that you read this, this, and this, or that you saw this, this, and this. They know. They know. It is just another wound. It's another knife to be told constantly, people are saying this, people are saying that, this person's doing this, this person's doing that. I choose very, very intentionally. I do not read toxic things. I do not take in toxic material, not even gossip shows. I quit watching The Real Housewives. I don't watch people that suck energy. I don't even watch. There was a girl I used to love to watch. I thought she was funny, smart, right on the money, but she would talk about even celebrities a lot. And I don't even think she means it in a bad way, but I quit watching her because it's like, why am I going to watch something like that? I don't even think God wants us to watch a bunch of violence and stuff like that. So we do watch some things like that, like Game of Thrones, and right now we're watching The Dragons. Trust me, my eyes are closed. And do you know, John would say, "Oh my God, they burn him," and I would I had to just tell him, "Do not tell me what they're doing. I have my eyes closed, and sometimes I'm doing this, or I'll tell him to mute it or fast forward, because I don't want it in me. I don't want it in my mind." So I don't watch a lot of stuff like that. I don't watch true crime. I don't need to know all that stuff. That's just how I am. And I just don't think that it makes you wonder the person's intentions when they're telling you something bad that someone else is saying about you. You know what I mean? And I choose to think that not everybody knows that, but I'm just wanting to put it out there just as a friendly tip. Okay. Relatable should be on the inside and not the outside appearance. Friends should accept you. Thank you. I think so too, because I think no matter what someone looks like on the outside, it doesn't take long to get that they get you. To me, it's how someone carries themselves. Are they smiling? How are they talking to their family? How are they interacting with their husband? How are they interacting? I'm talking about when I see people in public. How are they interacting with the sales associate? Let's just say in the grocery store. When they walk by you, do they have that look on their face like, like, did you say something? Are you looking, you know what I mean? Like some people just walk around looking like they are waiting for you to offend them. And then there are some people that they're just happy and I love it. I'm like, I like you. So, okay, 11:09, clock is ticking. I'm serious. I could talk for a long, long time. Oh, my husband says you give the best advice. What a fabulous compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Michelle, catching me late. I'll post this. Let's see. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna go back when I was jabberjawing back here. Okay. Hey, Jen from Chicago. I want to go to Chicago one day. I want to go to Boston one day. at the vet with my ill senior dog, and this live session is saving me right now. You're always there, Lisa, when we need someone. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. I I would have another dog, but John doesn't want to go through the heartbreak again. And I feel like it might not be fair just because of traveling. And it's pretty easy to leave my kitty cats with with my mom or Brooke or her roommate or something like that. But I don't want to do that to a dog. So that's the only thing that's kept me from getting either another Chihuahua or a tiny poodle like I had when I was in my 20s. But when they get to be old, wow, it just rips your heart to shreds. I know. We still are not over Bridget. I mean, there is not a day that goes by that we don't send pictures back and forth or make references to her, the little donkey. Um, just just different things she did. Yeah. So I hope everything goes well. Okay. Um, let's see. I love the idea of being social and planning it, but then when it comes down to doing it, I never want to go. I realize that most people feel that way because there's so many memes out there. And one time, this was funny. I was talking to Brooke, and she was saying that one of her friends had flaked out on her. And so, I'm trying to be the mom, and I'm like, does she flake out on you a lot? I try to just bring up kind of questions, not say anything, just throw it out there. And she said, yeah, but I'm flaky too. I said, okay, I get it. I'm flaky too. That's kind of how it goes down to you could be that friend that someone else no longer, vibes with. And we have to accept that. So, okay, girls, I'm going to end it here. I thoroughly enjoyed this time with you. And I always do. I always do. And I will post this video and I will see you, if not I think I'm going to see you on Thursday this week. I think I'm going to surprise you with a fashion video on Thursday. See you then.